What's up, everybody? It's Tyler here from Dirt Road Country, and I have a great guest here with me. It's been a while since we last talked, and now she's with Big Loud, and she's releasing her debut major label album, and it's called Shot in the Dark. Ashley Cooke joins me. What's going on?
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I assume you are too.
Absolutely. Try a little sleep deprived, but we're good.
Hey, that's all right. Like you said before, you're busy, and busy's always good, as I like to say. And speaking of that, you got 24 songs on this album. I mean, we've come into a new age where, all these artists are kind of releasing 20 to 30 song albums. And I think it's a treat for us fans because we get to hear more music. What's
100%.
it been like for you just going through this whole process and getting ready to release stuff? Because I know you've already got 11 of those songs out.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to get to honestly just write and kind of figure out what I want to say and how I want to say it. And, all the experiences that I've been through the last couple of years coming into one project has been a lot of fun. And, I didn't plan on doing a 24 song debut album. That was never the plan. It was, I don't even know if I had a plan. I think just most artists kind of throw like a 10 to 12 song first debut album out there. And that's like the typical, length of an album. But I was just writing so much. I had my publishing company has like a bus that we take out sometimes, and I had the bus out to write on, and I was in rooms all the time and getting back to town and writing and writing by myself, writing songs that I didn't even have co-writers on. And I just I came back when we were talking about the album. I came back to my label and I said, I'm so in love with so many songs that it's going to be really tough to narrow down to 12. I feel like there's so many that I want to put on an album. And luckily I signed with a company like Big Loud, who is very forward thinking in that sense. And they were like, you know what, we don't want to hold you back from putting songs on an album, or force you to wait till album 2 to put them out. Like, let's just put them all out and see what happens and give people more music. I've been making music for a minute now, and I haven't gotten to release a debut album, so I'm very excited. I think it every song has a purpose, and I feel like everybody that listens to the album, they can find something that they relate to or love. At least I hope that they can.
Well, like I said, 24 songs is a treat for everybody. And I'm going to be the guy. Now, I'm sure people have asked you this already, so I'm just going to ask you. And I know a lot of people really don't think about this. And this is the first thing I thought when I saw the album track list. Every single thing is lowercase. Is there a meaning behind that? Why you did that?
I wish I had like a bigger meaning for it. Honestly, I type like that. Like whenever I post like Instagram captions, texting, that's how I type. And so it kind of, when I was looking at songs that I've released in the past and just, songs on different playlists, I was like, man, like that doesn't feel like me because I don't type like that. Like that's just not what my phone, like the settings are all in lowercase. And I don't know why. It's kind of just always been that way. But it just felt like if somebody's texting me, right, and
Mhm.
this is how I type, this is my voice in like a font online, why would I not have my debut album have the same thread of that? It's not exactly grammatically correct, but that's okay because it feels like me, and that's all that matters.
That's exactly right. And that leads me right into my next question in terms of identity. When I hear your music, if one of your songs comes on and I'm listening to it, I don't even have to hear a word. I know that it's you right away. And that's like a thing that sets artists apart from each other. Like I could think of multiple artists right now. Like you think Randy Travis, he's got that distinct high pitched steel guitar back in those 80s and 90s albums, or modern day Morgan Wallen's going with that kind of like hip hop backtrack that people can really know who he is right off the bat. So for you as an artist, how do you want to set your identity apart from everybody else and make yourself stand out?
It's a tough question. It's a great question, but it's a tough question. I think honestly for me, it's just like right off the bat, does it make people feel something immediately? You know what I mean? Like that's the songs that I gravitated towards so much when I was younger, and even now, like when I hear a song on the radio for the first time or on a playlist for the first time, I'm like, oh, like I want to hear, I'm intrigued, I want to hear more. And I can't really pick out exactly like sonically what it is that I want to do/do, because I think that the beauty of being an artist and evolving is that that's going to be ever changing, and different songs have different things to them. But yeah, I mean, I think that the bottom line is just in the studio, in production, when they start to play the song, I'm like, does it grab me? Do I immediately feel something, whether it's wanting to go party, whether it's sad, whether it's melancholy, whether it's reflective, whatever it may be. I just want people to feel something as soon as they hear it. So I'm not sure what exactly the specific recipe is. If you figure it out, let me know. But and why you know it's me immediately when you hear a song, it's hard for me to say specifically.
I don't know. I guess it's just your style's recognizable. and that's a good thing.
100%.
Well, you also had 4 collaborations on this album. Out of the 24 songs, that takes up. I'm kind of a math guy, but I'm not going for the percentage now because that'll save a little time. But you've got 4 collaborations. How did those all come to be?
Well, we'll go down the line.
Okay.
So Colby Calais, we'll start with her. I've always looked up to her. She's so incredible, and I come from coastal places similar to her, and I always been told that our voices are similar, and that's like the biggest compliment. And so I wanted to set up a write with her, so we decided to write together, which was so much fun. And it was myself, Jimmy Robbins, Colby Calais, and Nicole Gallion in a room, which is just like an amazing room, period. And I brought this idea in called Mean Girl. And the morning that we went in to write the song, the idea that I had for this song was a completely different concept. But we were talking in the room, and my producer was like, "Hey, your ex-boyfriend," who I have an ex-boyfriend who wasn't exactly the nicest person to me, but we'll leave it at that. And he, he was like, that he has a new girlfriend, right? And I was like, I do now. Like, I didn't know that back then. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, man, I wish I could just call her up and warn her about kind of what I experienced, right? And Jimmy's like, well, why don't we write the song as like if you were to call her up and kind of write it like a letter to the new girl about what you experienced and kind of what to warn her about. And we wrote the song Mean Girl. And it's kind of all about, the flip on it is it's just another thing that he doesn't mean girl. And Colby, we were talking about how to make it a duet and what we wanted to do. And we wrote the second verse as like kind of a callback between the new girl and me. And Colby was like, I'd love to be on this record. Can I please, be the feature on it? And I was like, absolutely, please. Yes. Like, please be on my song. So that's how that one came out. We created it together, and she wanted to be a part of it in the master, which was really awesome. Jackson Dean, we've been friends for a minute. We kind of met through just being a new artist in Nashville. But we got asked to cover Don't Think Jesus by Morgan Wallen at an award show here in town called the AIMP Awards, like an independent music publisher awards. And so I walked in and kind of was hanging out with him in the studio. We were running through the song, just hanging out, talking. It's good to just see friends when you're not on the road. We were talking about just life and career and just all of the things. And he was like, how's your album coming? And I'm like, oh, it's awesome. We have a lot of songs. Actually, one of the songs that I cut is an outside song that Jackson's producer, Luke Dick, wrote with Lainey Wilson and some other amazing writers. And he was like, wait, I know that song. Is it What Are You on Fire About? I'm like, yeah, it is. And he's like, I love that song. Can I be the feature on it? And I was like, of course you can. So that kind of happened like organically. His voice added so much to that song. Nate Smith I'm just such a massive fan of who he is as an artist. I think he's so incredible. And I've always loved his voice. He is a human. If you know Nate, you love Nate. He's just the best human ever. And so I wanted him on my project, and I sent him like, I think it was 3 to 4 songs off the album. And I was like, hey, I don't know if any of these kind of gravitate, pull you in, but I'd love to have your voice on this project, and like, let me know if any of these hit you. And he chose See You Around, which is the song that he's on. And it's such a cool collaboration, and the way that it all came together and the art that we created, I'm really proud of.
Love it, love it. Now you're going on this headlining tour as well. It's also called the Shot in the Dark tour with Matt Schuster and Vincent Mason. How excited are you to headline? I mean, that's a big thing.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. They tell me every day that, a lot of tickets are flying and that some cities are sold out already. And it's so, so, so exciting. I cannot wait to just get out there and make it to headline my very first tour. It's going to be fun.
Is there one specific city that you have circled on the whole?
I mean, obviously Nashville. I'm playing Nashville at the Basement East, which is going to be a lot of fun. I've never played a headline show in Nashville ever. So this is going to be a ton of fun. So I'm excited for that, obviously, because I live here and it's a fun time.
Well, congratulations on all your success so far and the release of this debut album coming. But before I let you go, I'm going to ask you one more question, because it's going to be why you should get fans to listen to this album. It's kind of your little short promotion. So if you had one sentence to get fans to listen to Shot in the Dark, what would it be? Simple as that. What would it be? You only have one sentence.
There's something for everyone.
Simple.
That's all I got.
I like it.
That makes sense. There's 24 songs, and I feel like I really tried to, give something for everybody on the project. They give something for everybody to relate to. So I think there's something for everyone. That'd probably be my sentence.
Well, I love it. And Ashley, thank you so much for joining me. And if you guys don't already follow her on Instagram, TikTok, rest of the social media platforms, go do it now. Go stream all the songs that are already out on Shot in the Dark and get ready for it. It's coming out on the 21st. Ashley, thanks again. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so much.